Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Webinar Wednesdays. My name is Joshua Reynolds. I'm the communications specialist here at the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation, and I have a very special guest with me today. Her name is Ryan Pack, and she is an expert on business IQ and helping. And she's here today to help us out and talk to us a little bit about improving one's opportunity IQ. And so we're very, very excited to have Ryan here with us today to share her expertise with our business community. So to start, Ryan, can you say hi to everybody?
Absolutely. It is just a pure joy and pleasure to be here with each and every single one of you from Prince George's County. I'm hailing from Raleigh, North Carolina, and it's a gorgeous 84 degrees. So I hope that you're having a great day up there as well. And thank you again, Joshua. It's just a pleasure to be on there with you today.
Exactly. And you know what? It's actually beautiful here in Prince George's County as well. So we both have great weather, and I'm really excited to get started with this webinar. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right into it. Also, I would like to say one thing to our viewers. If you cannot hear us, turn your volume up. That's one thing that happens a lot. Turn your volume up. Also, on the upper right-hand side of what you're viewing right now, you can actually type any questions. So at the end of our presentation, we're going to take questions, and we're very excited to do that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share Ryan's slides with everyone so that we can see what she's talking about. Here we go.
Phenomenal. Thank you, everyone. So today, without further ado, we appreciate you hanging in there with us, and you are in for a treat. So you will want to stay until the end. And if you're having a phenomenal day today and you're thrilled to be on, type yes, type yes, type yes in the YouTube box. Awesome. Fantastic. Now today we're going to be diving in the business breakthrough, and I'm going to cover with you 3 simple tips to improve your opportunity IQ. Next one, Josh. Fantastic. And so who this is for, if you are a business owner in Prince George's County, if you are an executive or a busy professional, this is the presentation for you. And I want to let you know you have landed in the right place with us today at lunch. So if you are seeking some strategies to boost your competitive edge and the bottom line, this is the session for you. In the next 30 minutes, we are going to cultivate a success strategy that sustainably boosts profitability no matter the economy. So Josh, would you mind rolling with us to the next one? Fantastic.
All right.
Now, my promise to you on that next slide is an innovative strategy to boost your competitive advantage and profitability no matter the economy. So I'm going to run through a couple of quick questions just to see if any of this is ringing a bell. Now, does this sound familiar? Do you find it challenging to anticipate the next big thing for your organization? And is your organization struggling to cut through the noise in the crowded, competitive marketplace? And are you overwhelmed by the onslaught of technology? And are you seeking strategic ways to boost your company's volume and profitability? And do you just, quite frankly, find it overwhelming and exhausting at times to compete in today's crowded marketplace? My big question for you then is your organization healthy enough to sustain the turbulent times in the next year, 5 years, or 10 years into the future? So tell me, if you are starting to have your knees knock a little bit, have you developed a solid game plan? And if not, and you're concerned about the next year, 5-year, or 10-year viability of your organization, and you've not yet developed that sound game plan, what is really holding back your organization's future? And what might be holding your organization back is the pivots. You have not yet made this strategic pivot to help you take control of your company's future. But when you make this pivot, you will have complete control over the direction that your company is going. You'll be able to consistently cut through the noise and create raving fans for your brand. And more importantly, you'll increase your value to the marketplace, which will invariably help you boost that bottom line. So what you need to improve is your opportunity IQ. And today I'm going to walk you through the world-class. And wouldn't it feel just absolutely amazing when you make that pivot? I think of this young man on the 4th of July, right? Just boosting, just screaming from the rooftops when you make these pivots. Can you go to the next slide for me, Josh?
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Awesome. And we appreciate everyone's patience. So this is the one thing you need to know. You need to know and embrace optics. And some of you may be familiar and you may have heard the terminology EQ, so emotional intelligence, but what you really need is opportunity intelligence. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to make these 3 pivots to boost your opportunity IQ today. So before we dive in, just really quickly from a high level, I'm a young woman who went from basically the mailroom to the boardroom as a director for a 12,000 person organization. And I have close to 11 years of global corporate experience, both in Fortune 500 and big pharma. I've been featured in Huffington Post. I'm a member of the National Speakers Association. I have delivered keynotes and breakout sessions to the Junior League of Raleigh during a recent women's conference. And I'm also a global board member of Fem City of Raleigh. And I'm an entrepreneur. I've been there. But my specialty and what really gets me going, what gets me jazzed, what took me from the mailroom to the boardroom in a relatively short period of time is my ability to transform markets and transform marketplaces and growing territories and helping individuals like yourselves grow their organizations and develop sustainable, repeatable strategies for success time and again. And these strategies, these techniques, these tools have helped me in closing over $250 million. That's right, $250 million in business through over the course of my career. And so I really am excited to speak with you today about how you can improve your opportunity IQ. So enough about me, let's get back to you. So how can you unlock your opportunity IQ? And I'm sure some of you are saying, Ryan, what the heck is opportunity IQ? Well, I'm glad you asked. So opportunity IQ is a unique phrase that I've coined, and it's basically your ability to discern, detect, and identify valuable opportunities. AKA, how can you boost the bottom line? How can you find those? And opportunity IQ, your ability to have optics, this is a skill. In order to remain competitive in today's ever-changing landscape, you have to have opportunity IQ. The days of just having emotional intelligence, it's not enough, and you have got to cultivate this. And this is what's demanded of the leaders of tomorrow, because in order for you to stay competitive in the marketplace, leaders of tomorrow, the marketplace is demanding that you are authentic. Next slide, please. And you've got to be brave. You've got to be bold. You've got to be engaging. It requires leaders to be visionaries. We need leaders that are intelligent and creative, that can see beyond what's right in front of you. And we've got to have leaders that are willing to go the extra mile and come from a place of increasing value. This is what's demanded by millennials as we look at those that want increased transparency. And so in order for you to cultivate the opportunity IQ to find the next thing so that way you can stave off anything that's happening in the economy, first and foremost, you got to develop a world-class mentality. The mentality of the past has often been dictated by focusing on competition and always being concerned about what is happening to the left and to the right of you. And I liken this old mindset, this old way of being, akin to having a car that's just in a ditch. Can you imagine if you were driving the steering wheel of an 18-wheeler Mack truck going 80 miles an hour, barreling down the highway, and you're looking to the left at the minivan or this broken down car on the side of the road? If you're to do that, what would happen? And the Mack truck, in this case, it's barreling down the highway 80 miles an hour. If you're staring at this wreck on the side of the road, if you're always concerned about what's happening with the competition and you're just trying to keep up with the competition, you're going to crash and you're going to wind up on the side of the road and you're going to be right next to this old junkie beater, and your organization will be the junkie beater. And that's why we can't afford for you to be concerned all the time, just looking at only what the competition is doing. We need you to get radically honest. If you're going to develop a world-class mindset, you got to be honest about your present results. You need to get clear and honest about your authentic brand. What is the unique reason why clients are coming to you? What is your unique brand? Instead of being so concerned with what the competition is doing, it's good for benchmarking purposes, but you cannot allow what the competition is doing to be the main driver of your strategy. So I want to challenge each of you business owners and professionals and executives, get radically honest and be honest about your niche. Who are you serving? Not who you'd like to serve just yet, but first and foremost, you got to get clear on who's currently boosting your bottom line. Who are you currently serving? And you need to get really clear on who that is. And once you get really clear on those three components, then it's time, in order for you to be a leader of tomorrow, in order for you to cultivate the opportunity IQ to spot what's next, you got to be honest about the outcomes. Not what you think that you can have, but you got to be honest about what is it that you really want for your company? What is it that you really want for your business and organization? What is it that you want in the marketplace? And be honest about where you really want to be. Do you want to be a global organization? Do you want to expand? Because then when you get clear on the outcomes, it's easier to reverse engineer. And so the key takeaway here with the Radical Honesty Challenge is, instead of allowing competition and present circumstance to define where you think your organization can go, you need to get back in the driver's seat and get honest and clear on the outcomes that you want. And this is what we need, and this is what the market's demanding from leaders of tomorrow. And sometimes I understand it can get very stressful. It gets overwhelming in the marketplace. And what is required to really harness your opportunity IQ is an energy disruption. You've got to assess the current habits of the organization. Are those habits consistent and in alignment with where it is that you said you really want to go? Not what the competition is doing, not what is happening to the left and to the right of you. So you got to be clear on what the present habits are of your organization. Are they conducive to driving the results that you want? And first and foremost, leadership begins and ends with the power of one. So everything that you see reflected in your organization, it stems from you. And so you've got to look at your own habits. You got to look at yourself. And one of the key ways, the crucial ways, is developing a world-class mindset that permeates the culture and fabric of your organization. The thing that's going to resonate with your ideal clients in your niche is, it starts with you cultivating a success routine. And some ways, and you may have heard this, but some of the best ways to cultivate a success routine are looking at how you start your day. There was recently a study done in Yahoo regarding what the top executives do. What do the top 17 executives do every day, day in, day out? And 9 times out of 10, most of them, about 90% of them, are waking up at 5:30 in the morning, 6 a.m. at the very latest. So you got to look at, how are you setting up your day? How are you structuring your day? And what are you doing to get your head on right so you can lead the company in the direction that it needs to go? And in order for you to cultivate opportunity IQ, it requires a mental acuity, a sharpness, a vision. It requires you to come in with clearness of thought, so that way you can see and perceive things properly and assess the situation. So by developing a success routine, by waking up early, looking at your nutrition, further, re-examining, are you exercising, doing all those things to get blood flow to the brain, so that way you're in peak state, peak performance, so that way you can have the energy to create a world-class organization. And we want you to be in the fast lane. So to do that, you need awareness, you need clarity, and you need direction. And it's you that's in the driver's seat that's driving this vehicle, which is, in the case, your organization, to the next level. So it starts with you. Pivot number 2. So now that you are thinking and operating properly, you've assessed and uprooted the habits that are holding your organization back, and you're looking at the results. Shift number 2 is finding the field. Now, this one's really exciting, because if you find the field, and I don't know how many of you remember the old movie Field of Dreams, right? So the quote is, if you build it, they will come. And some of you may be saying that it sounds so pie in the sky. And if I build it, they'll come. That could be a huge money pit. And you're absolutely right. And this is why it's imperative that you know your niche. In order for you to preemptively identify where your organization is headed, what the next best opportunity might be, you've really got to be in tune with your unique niche. And on this next slide, it's really imperative that you understand your core audience. And the only way you can get some understanding is through engagement. And too often, and in the past, folks have relied on, say, direct marketing, where you're just pushing marketing onto your consumers, onto your clients. And in today's day and age, what's really required is savvy communication. One of the best ways to leverage that and do that is through email marketing. Your email list is probably one of the most valuable assets that your company has, especially if you're a small to medium business owner. That is an asset that could be transferred down to your legacy towards the next generation. And so this email list, not something that you have housed outside of there, but your list, that's your way of engaging and understanding what their needs are. And it can't just be a one-sided communication. Today's marketplace, what we're seeing and noticing is that people want to have authentic connection with other people. With the advent of all the social media, a lot of stuff can feel very false and foreign. And so people are craving authentic connection. So your ability to communicate and engage properly with your clientele, your client base, it can change the game for you. And it's also going to be a solid way to drive some traffic and drive boots on the ground if you have a physical space or if you have services. And it's a good way to stay engaged and stay informed. Another crucial tactic is via social media. Now, I know social media can be a bit eponymous and it just sounds very overwhelming because it's like, where do I even start? But if you have a good understanding of what your niche is and thinking of the psychographic, where do they shop? What do they like? The demographics, what's the age group? Where are they? And another critical component is via social media, you can get laser focused on your target niche. No longer do you have to take this huge shotgun approach where you throw so much on the wall and just try to wait and see what sticks. With the advent of social media, with the advent of targeted email messages, you can unlock your traffic and you can boost your sales exponentially. Another way to get really engaged with your audience is via informational interviews. Folks that have bought from you in the past, why are they buying? And then more importantly, if you are at a space in your organization where you've taken the time to say, okay, this is who's currently keeping the lights on, but through these other tactics, through social media, through savvy email marketing, you can identify some different trends of where the market is headed. And by getting some insights as far as what their biggest pain points are, you can start conducting informational interviews to start beta testing some of your ideas to see if they'll fly and if they really are going to serve the needs of your ideal clientele, or if you want to expand your client base. For example, I work with a health coach, and she's had great success with families, but is also seeking ways to expand into another market. And the best way for her to start expanding is via these informational interviews to really get and unlock the core drivers of this new client base that she wants to serve. So if you have not done one of these in the last quarter, I strongly recommend that you hop on the phone or figure out some ways to incentivize and really understand what the core needs are of your market so that way you can remain competitive. And the crucial underlying thing of all of these approaches, if you want to boost your opportunity IQ in a major way, is really making sure you're consistent. So however often you're doing your newsletters, or stay consistent and keep them engaged, and set the right expectations so that way you can build that relationship, that trust, so that way you have the market and the traffic that will continue to buy from you time and again. And one of the critical elements to really drive a solid strategy when it comes to email marketing, social, is stay curious. Stay curious. And curiosity, I love this quote by Walt Disney, around here, we don't look backwards for very long. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors and doing new things. because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. And that's the underlying message of Opportunity IQ. Stay curious, stay engaged, and keep knocking on the doors, because in order for you to spot the acres of diamonds that's right where you are, you need to be in tune with really where is the industry going for your particular organization, and what do you see on the horizon, and what hidden opportunities are right beneath the surface. And the only way you can do that is through solid engagement strategies via some of the channels that I mentioned before. And some of the critical case studies of this, think of Netflix versus Blockbuster, right?
Right. Sorry to interrupt. That's a great case study.
Absolutely. Or look at Amazon, extremely disruptive. And in order for you to grow, in order for you to change the game, you've got to be in tune with the trends. And the best way to do that is know your niche, identify it out of the gates, and stay engaged. So that way you can remain nimble and continue to serve and spot new acres of diamonds and new opportunities, no matter what. And so as we shift to this next pivot, I love this one. Struggle is stupid. You don't have to keep beating your head against the wall. Invest in your growth, invest in a mentor, invest in some different things and new technologies. Because the key thing here is, you can go to the next slides. To stop learning is to stop growing. And I love this quote by Michael John Bobak. We've always got to remain teachable, because otherwise you will wind up like that beaten down car on the side of the road. You've got to stay engaged by joining different educational seminars like this one hosted by Prince George's County, by really taking the time to invest in yourself and spot the trends and to see what's coming. You will cultivate that opportunity IQ, and you'll have the competitive advantage. And on the next slide, you got to remember this core principle. Your organization only grows and expands to the level that you do. And this is time and again, a proven principle. And this principle right here is what enabled me to take a territory that was doing just shy of $1 million a year and growing it to one that was doing $70 million in a year. And it takes that level of expansion and awareness to spot the opportunities and really understanding my niche. But also, I had to grow. I had to grow from the inside out and do some different things to trigger different results. So if you really want to exponentially boost your opportunity IQ, I strongly recommend investing in an external business mentor. Some of the crucial things that an external business mentor can help you with is aiding you in boosting your strategic value to the marketplace. Having someone outside of your organization, it can improve your organizational health. Recently, I went to a talk with Sally Krawcheck, who used to be a former executive of Bank of America, and she also has launched a great professional women's organization, Elevate, and is the CEO of Elevest. And some of the things that we're speaking about was one of the crucial things that led to the financial meltdown was not so much that there were extremely bad, malintentioned people. It was more so a lot of groupthink. And if you have all going down the same track, it's really hard to spot the blind spots. So by having someone outside of your business that can really help you develop some of those strategies, it can rapidly and exponentially increase your opportunity IQ. And what's even better is it'll really help you generate some new ideas and keep you accountable, because I'm sure we've all been there, right? Where we have these exciting board meetings, everyone's getting together, we've got all these great strategies, everyone's all pumped up, and then rubber meets the road and that project is not implemented. So sometimes having someone outside of you can hold your team's feet to the fire to make sure you're getting the results that you really want. So a great business mentor will give you those ideas and make sure that you act on them. So the next slide. Today I promise you an innovative strategy to boost your competitive advantage and profitability, no matter the economy. And when you make those 3 pivots, you'll be able to have complete control over your company's future. You'll consistently cut through the noise and create raving fans for your brand, because you'll have a firm handle by leveraging some strategies like email marketing and solid social media engagement, where you're either having groups and you're really engaged with your audience. they'll love your unique brand. And that way you don't have to worry about the competition because you're serving the heck out of your client base. And more importantly, when you're doing that and adding immense value, you'll increase your value to the marketplace and ultimately boost your bottom line. So at this time, I'd love to open it up for a little Q&A.
Great. So I'm checking the live chat. It doesn't look like we have a lot of questions right now.
Okay.
But do you have a communication slide so that someone can email you and ask you questions? Is that okay?
Absolutely. And if you actually go to the next slide there, Josh,
Okay.
I'd love to say thank you to everyone of Prince George's County. And I want to make sure that you're really boosting that opportunity IQ and taking things to the next level. So as a gift for staying to the end or for watching this informational seminar, I want to gift you my free ebook, my new free ebook, The Productivity Cure. And it's 7 simple ways to aid you in defeating procrastination. And so far, I've been getting some good feedback from some of the folks engaged in my group. So that's my gift to you. And I'd love to connect. Yeah, if you go to the next slide, there's some additional ways that we could stay in touch.
Awesome. So here you see it, folks. This is a great way to get in contact with Ms. Ryan Pack, who has shared with us some really amazing information. I'm so lucky to have these slides on my own personal work computer, which I will review for myself as well, because I find that when I have experts come in and talk, it's not just for the audience, it's also great for people here at work and people in the county. So if you want to see this presentation again, this will be hosted live on our YouTube channel. If you want any other information about how to grow your business in Prince George's County, you can contact the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation at 301-583-4650. And again, I want to thank Ryan Pack for basically Skyping in with us. This is actually Google Hangouts. So Google hanging out with us to share her expertise and to talk about some really great ways to help you grow your business and to also understand the marketplace and give you a great mindset that is clearly very, very much so needed to help you grow your business. So thank you so much, Ryan. I'm going to bring your face back up on the screen so I can see you again. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I personally look forward to keeping in contact with you throughout, time.
Absolutely, Josh. And, I just want to say a big thank you to all of the amazing folks at Prince George's County, and special shout outs to the leadership team of the Economic Development Council. And Josh, thank you for making this such a wonderful experience. And folks, you've got it. So those are some of the crucial mindset shifts, and I would love to stay in contact if you have any other questions. And I look forward to hopefully collaborating with the county on some more in-depth trainings to help you really dive in deeper to your niche and really dive in a little bit deeper to those digital marketing strategies, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Thank you.
And we look forward to collaborating with you as well. And thank you again. And that concludes our webinar Wednesday. So thanks for having lunch with the EDC.
Take care.